the system that you have set up is by far like the easiest way to just copy and paste.
This mortgage protection telesales agent not only just sells $30,000 per month, but he's going to be sharing how he gets people on the phone, how he sets constant appointments, his schedule and cadence as a top telesales agent. So stay till the end of the video because he's going to be revealing all of his secrets so that you can just implement and copy his framework. So what would you say, like, your advice be to new agents out there just starting out, how they can get past the learning curve? What are some lessons that you have learned so far in the last 3 years? Colby, welcome to the podcast, man. We finally made it happen, dude.
What's up, man? I appreciate you having me.
Of course, brother. Well, dude, $30,000 a month as a mortgage protection telesales agent. I know that's probably not where you started at, but dude, talk about like how you got into the industry in the first place, man.
I always wanted to be like an entrepreneur and be able to kind of make money from anywhere. Tried a few things. Was working like a corporate job straight out of high school. Tried a few things. Ended up just kind of seeing the industry on social media. Tried it out after some other things didn't work out. Ended up getting my license and just hopping into the industry. Was never in sales before, but quickly learned like being your own boss is a different game.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just really just
Dude, how what did you so you started what, 3 years ago now?
yeah.
Cool. So what are some lessons that you learned, like being in the industry 3 years? I mean, 3 years in this the telesales industry, dude, is like that's like you're ancient at this point, dude. You've seen everything, right? So what would you say, like, your advice be to new agents out there just starting out, how they can get past the learning curve faster? Like, what would your advice be, or what are some lessons that you have learned so far in the last 3 years?
Uh, so getting ahead as much as possible in any way, as fast as possible. So like waking up earlier is a simple one, but just waking up earlier,
Yeah.
training more than others, and then just cramming in as many appointments as possible, as quick as possible, will get you through the learning curve a lot, faster. Um, so that, obviously that's the biggest recommendation, but leaning into the people above you as well, like just making sure you're calling them, you're asking for tips, you're reaching up and out constantly.
Yeah, what are as you start, like, got into the industry, did you start on age leads? Did you start on new leads? Like, what, talk us through that a little bit, dude.
Yeah, I started on age leads, and I still run like a mix of age leads too. But yeah, I started
Yeah.
on age leads, mailers, a couple years old, 6 months, 9 months, just mixed them all up.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use a credit card. I was broke when I got into the industry, literally. Um,
Mm.
but I did have a solid like foundation or belief in myself that I could do things and like pull myself out of pretty much any situation.
Yeah.
I just kind of leaned into, my faith and belief and just kept pushing, bro.
Yeah, dude. Um, what are some things that you like face, like when you were just starting out, dude? Like, what are some things that, like, you had to overcome, like the adversities that came, and how you actually overcame them, so you could get to where you're at now, where you're doing, I don't know, 30,000 a month in premium, and now building out a team, you know?
There's definitely a lot of obstacles that will. There's definitely a lot of obstacles that you'll face. Specifically myself, like I faced some that some people may not have to deal with nowadays. But like when I first came into,
Because did you start in the field?
yeah, I was about to say, now when I first came into the business, I was in the field, but like I was struggling to pay gas, like
Mm.
it was like you got to make this sale. You got to drive an hour away or make this sale, or you're not going to be able to buy a batch of leads, and you're possibly going to be out of the business. And like I dealt with that stress for a few weeks until I made an effective amount of sales to be able to reinvest in myself and just continuously give myself, that reassurance. Obviously, my skill got better as I was getting
Yeah.
more appointments, and then my spend, went down and kind of leveled out as my premiums kept increasing, and it just, just I just stayed persistent, consistent, and made it happen.
Yeah, that's I could definitely relate to that because it's you have this the faith that you can do it, but there's like you're stepping into the unknown, or you're stepping into like the dark because you're not sure like what. Okay, I know that there's a learning curve. I genuinely don't know how to do this. I don't know sales at all, but for some reason, like somehow these people are just telling me, and I'm blindly kind of following them, which can work. And some people it doesn't work at all, right? But it's so important. Like if you're a new agent watching this, or you're just getting into the business, it's so important to have somebody that you can rely on that like you said, right? Like lean on to be able to reach up to and reach out to. So you can surpass that learning curve a lot faster, right? So that you can have somebody that can see through the dark. Maybe they have the vision, they have the light, they have the lay of the land, and they could just help you and hold your hand throughout that process until you get the lay of the land too, right? Um, did you start like recruiting right away, or you just were like, hey, you know what, I want to be able to produce and then actually take that step? What was your thought process there?
Yeah, honestly, I was in survival mode, so I wasn't like I did want to recruit. The building a business was a beautiful idea, and I loved the fact of like having a team and being a leader. Like I love all that. But
Yeah.
when I first came in, like I said, I was struggling to pay gas, so I didn't really feel like I had the belief to tell people, to come do what I'm doing. Like I don't know if they're struggling to pay gas too. I don't know if they have the same, will to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
so I just kind of toughed it out, stuck it out for a little while. Slowly brought on some like friends, like some more markets. I did like have eventually, like over a couple years, it was like 15 people that had come in and just in and out a little bit. But now it's you know, now we're up. We got some people that are locked in, dialing every day, like consistently, and the business is turning up for real.
There you go. I love it, dude. So talk through your because I personally, right, and a lot of the agents that come inside the community are they're one call closing, right? I mean I personally like I recommend that, right? But you like you set appointments, and so what was interesting is when you came into the community, you joined and you're like, hey, I'm just setting appointments, right? And you're closing deals like that. Talk us through your schedule, man. Going from like okay, you get a batch of leads. What do you do after that to lead to commissions and sales?
So the batch of leads come in. I call the leads from 8. So my biggest like dial time is 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Really like 8 to 12 if I don't have any appointments that pop up. Um, but in the morning, like I'm dialing, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm putting in as many dials as possible, and I can typically book 15 appointments pretty easily within 3 hours. Just depending on how many leads I have and stuff. But on an average day, like I can, if I have a solid amount of hours, like I'm having a 40 appointment week. So booking 8 to 10 appointments every morning pretty smoothly. Um,
You just book same day or
yeah,
same day next day?
same day, next day. And then
Okay.
some of those are gonna reschedule. So I don't really count the rescheduling or whatnot, but whenever you're booking the appointments, like I use my mornings as my dial time. So a lot of people are working anyways, so when they're working, you're calling them after they get home. And if they have a spouse or significant other, like with the mortgage protection, a lot, they have somebody else that has to lean in on the decision. Um, with final expense, sometimes they can do it on their own. So like, I definitely all four one call closing too. And I have done some one call closing, but the appointment setting is for sure my bread and butter.
Yeah. Yeah, so you set a point, you call them up, set them up. Do you buy leads like at a certain point of each week or one time a week or every day or
I
what's
have
that look
a
like?
yeah, it's a, like every day. It's an automatic drop. I have a lockout with a few states, and then I have some other lockouts that I drop out in the beginning of the month. So like I just have the leads on automatic draft, So I kind of had over the years I've kind of played with my lead flow to the point where I know where I can get it like consistently, and I know how much is coming out of my bank account pretty much. Like some days are a little higher than others, some batches are a little more than others, but it all stays pretty consistent, and I can.
How much are you spending a week on leads?
Well, after you total it up, like if you balanced it throughout the month, you're gonna be looking at like 2 grand, pretty
Oh, that's it? 2 grand?
per week. Yeah,
Oh, 2 grand a week. Okay.
yeah,
So you're spending 2 grand a week,
yeah.
8K, and then you're issuing 30K a month. Um, yeah, that's solid. And so is your intro the same when you're calling an age lead compared to a brand new lead, or how do you do that?
Is my intro the same? Yeah, pretty much. The only difference is whenever like I'm booking an age lead. Is that what you're saying? Like whenever I'm calling to book an age lead, a lot of the
Yep.
times when I'm hey, this is Colby. I'm just calling in regards to your form that you had filled out and sent back in, talking about the mortgage protection. RN is just saying it was left as incomplete, like nobody's been able to go over that with you. Simply requires a quick 10 to 15-minute phone call. I was trying to find the best time to call you between this afternoon or tomorrow.
Uh, yeah. What's this about again?
The mortgage protection form, around the time of closing with Rocket Mortgage, we sent you quite a few in the mail. Some were like pink, green, yellow. You filled it out by hand and sent it back in. It pays off the
Oh
loan.
yeah, that was a long time ago.
Right, yeah. It was just saying that nobody's actually been able to go through your options, make sure you understand like what it is, how it works. That's my job, just a medical underwriter. So we'll go shopping for you, make sure you find the best option. I'll lay out the numbers and we'll see if it's a good fit. But what time's the best time to call you?
Yeah, I'm at work right now, so probably tomorrow.
Tomorrow? You get off at like 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have like a 5 right at 5, but I could do like 5:45, or we could do like 7 o'clock this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. What's best for you?
5:45. How much is it, by the way? That's what I was like. I was sending those in. I was just like super curious, like how much this costs.
Yeah, I completely understand that, and that's everybody's like number one question, and that's the whole point of my job. Like, we'll figure that out for you. Um, the thing is, it's all based off of age and health. So I gotta ask you a couple medical, a couple financial questions, and then we'll customize it to your situation. But that's what takes about 10, 15 minutes. Now, is there a spouse or anybody else that needs to listen in with us?
No, I make all the decisions.
Okay. You say that like, are you married? Is there anybody else living with you?
Yeah, I'm married.
Yeah. Okay. She would be the beneficiary, right? Like she would be the one taking
Yeah.
you to the home. Okay, so they do require
Uh-huh.
me like to have you both of you guys a part of the conversation. So if you would just let your wife know. But you guys are both settled in usually by 7 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, perfect. So I'll go ahead and put you on the calendar for tomorrow at 7. Again, my name is Colby. This is my cell phone number, the one I'll call you back from. Just do me a favor again, let your wife know. Block it off on your calendar. We'll get it knocked out for you then, okay?
Boom.
Perfect.
So cool. So you call the same way that you do with new leads. Like if it's a brand new lead, you're calling the same way.
Yeah, I'm calling in regards to the form you called in yesterday or whatever. I just get more specific about what lead type it is.
So so for you, right? Like what are the biggest objections that you're going to get? Cuz I remember selling mortgage protection like 2 years ago. But that's obviously it might change a little bit. Like what are the biggest things that you see?
Obviously, the think about it is, one that everybody has to deal with. Think about
Like
it.
on the when you're booking an appointment. We'll get to the presentation, but just booking an appointment.
Uh, is it required? That's definitely one. Are you with my lender? You is this a part of my loan? Like, is it going to be attached to the loan? Sometimes I get that. Um, but that's really,
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you do that.
or not
You call
interested,
them on their.
but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you say you book an appointment for tomorrow. You get there for the 7 p.m. appointment. You call me up. How's Just give me like a brief framework how you typically go about it.
Yeah, so I initially, hey Johnny, it's Colby. I was calling for our appointment. You got a pen and paper nearby?
Yeah.
Perfect. And your wife there with you too? Like, just make sure everybody's there. They can listen in. Um, and then,
Uh, no, she's not.
okay, if you would just go grab her real quick. And if she don't do it, like, I pretty much force them to make sure they don't one leg me. But if if I can get the payer of the home to like tell me they're the only one working, they make all the decisions, they want the coverage for the spouse, like they pretty much are set, then okay, I'll do it. But other than that, like I pretty much force them into getting the others, the other person to weigh in.
Okay, cool. So, okay, yeah, the wife's here listening in.
Awesome. Um, okay, so hey Mary, hey, Johnny, um, on your
Yeah.
sheet of paper there, just jot down my full name, Colby Landman, and then I'm gonna be your direct agent. We'll do annual reviews and stuff like that. I kind of like preset that. And then I set the table in terms of, all right, so the mortgage protection is the coverage that replaces your income if you get real sick or disabled. God forbid you were to pass away. Again, it's all based off of age and health. So we'll do a little bit of shopping for you. I got to ask you a couple medical, a couple financial questions, and we'll be able to determine which carrier will actually approve you. There's a ton of different
Yeah.
carriers. Have you ever heard of like Mutual of Omaha, John Hancock, Fidelity, Foresters, AIG? Any of those ringing a bell?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, there's a ton of them. It doesn't matter to me which one it ends up being. But again, we'll go shopping. We'll find the best option. I'll lay it out there for you. We'll see if it makes sense for you. If it does, we just simply submit a request to the carrier and see if we can get you approved. Is that fair?
Yep.
Perfect. So Johnny, how old are you? And then I just go through the financial inventory sheet. Yep.
Okay. So are you usually just writing term or are you writing IULs too?
Yeah. Well, mainly it's IUL Express products, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you do that.
And equity protection
Um,
too. Like if you're an older individual,
Older, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you write that. What's your average premium? Like case
Lately, I
size?
would say it's like $85 a month.
Usually it's higher.
Yeah, I would say anywhere from 140 to 85 is pretty typical. Anything over
Okay.
like 150, people just seem to, it seems to be a little pricey for people.
Okay. So you do that. You get them. You get like say they're gonna get approved for this plan. When are you doing the draft date? Because I know these people are working. Are you always immediate, or are you in a few
Yeah,
days, or how's that work?
yeah, I'm always immediate. I just tell them up front, like, all right, so when we get you approved here, the first draft comes out in about 2 to 4 business days, and then each month on the 20th. All right. Okay.
Cool. Simple.
Yep. I try
And then
literally.
do you do
That's my
anything?
thing, bro. I try to keep it as simple as possible.
How long are your calls?
About, I mean, depending on how many questions I ask, but I can do a whole call in like 25 to 35 minutes for sure.
Like call to close.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude. So you're booking 40. How much are you running?
What do you mean? I run all the appointments.
Yeah, like how much like what's the show rate on those? Like your show rate pretty good or?
Yeah. So if you based it off of this week, no, but yes. I mean, on an average week, my numbers typically are like the breakdown to be like 40 appointments, 20 sits, 10 closes, roughly. And then it's usually like 8 to 12K in AP. That's like my average numbers.
Okay.
So like 50% show ratio, 50% closing
Yeah.
ratio. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's good. What Are you writing like specific carriers, or like or are you kind of like just pretty spread out? Like, or do you have like a core like 4 or 5 carriers that you're
Yeah, I
with?
have a core that I love using. Yeah, I have a core. I would say Mutual of Omaha is obviously huge. Americo. I do love Kansas City Life is a new good one, a really good one. American Home Life is huge. Like Aetna, they have a smooth process. Um, Foresters is decent, but their application process is ridiculously long. But yeah, I mean, I have some. We have a lot of good carriers, but yeah, I have some favorites. Just based off of like obviously how quickly you get paid, how smooth the application process is, how quick you know like they're going to be approved, instant approval, like all that good stuff, you know.
Yeah, you're always going instant approval, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I try my best to get the instant approval.
Yeah, that's important, dude. And what's cool is you obviously do that. You came into the community, got rocking and rolling. Like, what was the biggest thing that you were like that kind of pushed you over the edge? That you're like, you know what, like, I want to get involved in like joining the community and what we're doing. Like, what was kind of the thing that you're like, hey, you know what, that actually makes sense and to help me grow my business.
Uh, I mean, honestly, I just know that what you have to offer is the next level of the insurance industry. Like where you're going with your ideas and what you have set and planned like for your team and for like your vision of your business is very aligned with where I want to scale mine to, and I love the technology, the everything you have set up, bro, is so smooth. So like just the fact of being able to plug myself in with the people that I want to be like is a big thing to me too. So like I just
Yeah.
that was it for me really.
Yeah, I love it, bro. And I guess like for somebody, because you obviously like stayed in the mortgage protection lane, right?
Mm.
Which is cool, right? But like, who would you recommend that like it would be a perfect fit to like join the community in? Like who, like what was that person? Because I know that you obviously are running your leads. You got a really good solid system, which is like it's very rare for like an agency to actually have that, right?
Yeah.
So like, who would you actually like recommend to like actually join to be able to like get their business off the ground with it? Would you say?
I think, yeah, what you just said at the end there, I think it's definitely if you're a beginner, like if you're a beginner, you need a team, you need a system, you need people that are gonna like you can rely on, you can fall into. And luckily, I found Johnny after I was already like kind of, I found you after I was already like up in the business for a while. But
Producing, yeah.
yeah, but dude, as a new agent, like it would have been huge for me to build that from the ground up, like, and that's that's exactly it. Like if you're a newer agent, if
Yeah.
you don't know like where you're gonna head yet, if you don't know which direction you're gonna take, final expense is definitely the easiest avenue to start in. And the system that you have set up is by far like the easiest way to just copy and paste too. So
Boom. Well, if you guys love this video, subscribe right now to the channel. Go check out Colby. We got a lot of cool stuff going on in the background. You'll probably see them all over the place. So if you guys love this video, again, subscribe right now to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.